Hello everyone, this is ICBs here, and today, unfortunately, we are yet again reviewing Velma Season 2 Episode 5. And this is going to be a bit of an experimental video because if you watched my previous videos, you would have noticed that I was reviewing two episodes of Velma in a row, but now I'm reviewing one single episode because there has been some changes in my lifestyle due to my job and everything. So I'm trying to experiment with this video, trying to make it short and as casual as possible. So don't mind me if it sounds very ranty. Spoiler alert, it's going to sound very ranty, and I know that already. So yeah, without talking too much about myself, let's talk about this episode. So yeah, Velma finds some dead bodies and she immediately assumes that it was Amber who did it because the dead bodies were found in the same place that they were doing their seance in the last episode. So Velma posts something about Amber doing it and calling Amber a witch on her social media, which causes a huge crowd of people going to lynch Amber because they think that she's a witch. And this is what I really hate about Velma, because she will put anyone's life on at risk because she's such a delusional, narcissistic person who thinks that she is the center of the world. Like, why did they make Velma such a horrible character? Like, I like Thanos, and he's a goddamned villain, and I don't agree with what he's doing. He's a bad guy. That's the end of the story. But god damn it, I like Thanos, and Velma is somehow worse than Thanos, the guy who destroys half of the life on planet Earth. Velma is worse than Thanos. It's mind-boggling, really, to comprehend that fact that I find Velma to be more insufferable than that. So yeah, Velma puts Amber's life at risk, and the whole town is after her, and they put her on a stake. They're about to burn her when, even though they kind of find out that Amber had a good alibi, they still can't really stop the crowd because all of the crowd is kind of really pumped up. So yeah, but Velma tries her, like she uses 1% of her brain cells to kind of dispel the crowds, and it's kind of amazing how Velma is able to do that, because the kind of thing that the kind of reasoning that she uses to do that is the thing that can only work in the universe of Velma. So she posts something on social media saying that the serial killer is only going after men who have small penises. Yeah. And that causes the entire crowd to just, skedaddle because because they think they're safe from it. And yeah, I mean, I don't know what to say. Like, this is an attack on men, like every single time, or in social media and Hollywood movies. It's so easy to target men and easy to make jokes about men and their bodies, but you can't even call a woman fat, but because that's body shaming. But they will constantly make jokes about men and penises, and it is something that you can't even control. It's like your height, you can't become taller, and you can't change the size of your penis. Like, I don't know why this is so normalized. Uh, I'm not saying that I'm just saying that it's not an okay joke to make. I'm not personally offended by it, but I just don't see the logic where you can call women fat and then women can make fun of you and fun of men all they want. This is not appropriate. This is not an appropriate joke at all. And this is not equality. This show is unhinged at every single level, and this show only has one joke, and that is male penis small. And they kind of really overused this joke in the first season as well. If you don't remember it, don't try to remember it. It was horrendous. They made a lot of jokes about Fred's penis being small, and yeah, it kind of gets really old, and it gets really old really fast. So yeah. So where was I again? Yeah, the crowd kind of dispels because they think that their penises are small and thus they are safe from the serial killer. So after the crowd leaves, Velma accidentally sets the whole weird thing on fire, and Velma and possibly all the side characters are about to die until Amon saves them, and then Amon, who is Velma's father, proposes to the waitress, who I don't actually remember the name of, but it doesn't really matter. I don't think anyone cares about her. So yeah, Amon proposes to her and they're going to probably be married soon. So speaking of marriage, Fred's father also tried to propose to Velma's mother, but that didn't really work. Velma's mother declined. So I thought I should mention that. Also, some interesting things happen in this episode. Norville actually goes to some mental asylum place or something, and he finds that his grandmother, Dr. Perdue, is still alive for some reason. And she explains that she's been hiding from the government because her research is really important or whatnot. So, yeah, and the big thing that they reveal is so bad. Like, I can't explain to you how bad the big reveal is. The reason why Velma's, sorry, not Velma's, the reason why Norville's grandmother is hiding is because she had been working on a research to remove human brains so that she can build a spa for the brains. So that she can build a spa for the fucking brains. So that people can come to Dr. Perdue and have their brains removed so that they can feel lighter and they can, find themselves, do a little bit of soul searching or something. Hate it. Hate it. That's where this episode ends, with an Easter egg of a priest dying, or possibly, you know. So, yeah, that's this episode as a whole. And I feel like everything that I wanted to say about this episode, I've already said. Velma, a bad, self-centered, selfish character who doesn't care about anyone's well-being. And what I really hate to see time and time again in this show is that Daphne is, I find, is the real victim, because she is in a relationship with a possible abuser, a selfish abuser. And Velma, I don't think, has any disregard for Daphne. I think Velma is just incapable of feeling empathy, and I just see Velma as the abuser, and I can easily see Daphne if in a long-term relationship, and if Velma doesn't change her ways, I do kind of feel that Daphne could be in a very miserable kind of a relationship, and she would need many years of therapy to recover from this relationship, which I think is very toxic and very one-sided, because everything is about Velma, and Daphne is more often than not just left out. So yeah, something else that I wanted to discuss before I should stop talking, because it's been 8 minutes, quite possibly shorter if you're watching this video. All of my if and alls have been edited out, and yeah, I think this is a good place to end this video. Let me know your thoughts in the comments down below, and as always, it's time for a goodbye.